What could be scarier than a puppet? The answer is simple, that is a puppet controlled by a ghost. At that moment, while Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are running for their lives from the ghost, the rest of Mystery Inc. has just finished setting up a trap. As the ghost moves closer, a small bomb suddenly explodes in front of it and forces it to retreat. Before Mystery Inc. can even understand what is going on, Batman suddenly appears. People call him the world's greatest detective, and he is also investigating the true identity of this ghost. When Mystery Inc. realizes that Batman is chasing the same goal, they quickly introduce themselves and start talking to him. However, in the middle of their conversation, the lights suddenly go out and the ghost returns. Even Batman cannot stop it this time, so Mystery Inc. has no choice but to run. Only then does Fred remember his trap. But it is already too late because the trap accidentally captures Batman instead. When the ghost sees the flame in Fred's hand, it steps back in fear, but the match burns out almost immediately. With no other option, all of them rush outside. As the ghost continues to chase them, Fred jumps into a bulldozer and drives it straight into a wall, using the impact to corner and finally capture the ghost. After that, Velma calmly connects all the clues. At the crime scene, they find banana peels. The puppet uses both its hands and feet to steal jewelry. The ghost is able to pass right through Batman's body. Based on these details, Velma confidently concludes that the culprits are Martian Manhunter and Detective Chimp. It turns out that everything is part of Batman's plan. He wants to invite Mystery Inc. to join the ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham, so he creates this entire situation as a test. Batman has been observing Mystery Inc. for a long time, and he recognizes their true potential in solving crimes. After hearing his offer, Mystery Inc. agrees without hesitation. 1 week passes quickly. Now Batman is busy dealing with a group of criminals when Riddler suddenly shows up. He plans to steal all the gold and escape, but Batman throws a rope and captures him before he can get away. Batman even reminds him to prepare himself for another trip back to prison. However, Batman does not expect Riddler to have accomplices hiding nearby. When Batman realizes that they are about to attack him together, he immediately calls for backup. Aquaman and the Question arrive shortly after. Aquaman can control the ocean itself, while the Question is both a superhero and a detective. There is one unusual thing about him, that is, every time he finishes speaking, he ends his sentence with a question. When they are surrounded, Batman and Aquaman decide to use a coordinated attack. Aquaman controls the water to trap their enemies in place, and Batman takes that opportunity to deliver the final blow. Later, Batman invites the Question to attend the upcoming analysts meeting. He does not invite Aquaman because Aquaman is not a detective. This decision only makes Aquaman even more curious about the ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham. Meanwhile, Mystery Inc. arrives at the address printed on the business card Batman gave them. They soon realize that the card is not just an invitation but also a key that unlocks a hidden door leading to the meeting room. As soon as Mystery Inc. steps inside, Batman is already there waiting for them. He introduces the other members of the ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham, including the Question, Black Canary, and Plastic Man. Black Canary is a master of many martial arts, and she can release an incredibly powerful sonic scream from her mouth. Plastic Man has the unique ability to stretch and reshape his body in any way he wants. Batman explains that he invites Mystery Inc. to join because he needs their help to solve several mysteries that remain unfinished. While looking around, Velma unexpectedly discovers a file about the only case that Batman has never been able to solve. She is surprised, but Batman immediately makes it clear that he does not want anyone interfering with that particular case. Suddenly, Aquaman appears in disguise under the name Sir Arthur. He pretends to investigate the case on his own, and his stubborn determination leaves Batman with no choice but to officially allow him to join the mystery analysts. In the middle of their discussion, an alarm suddenly goes off at Gotham Chemical Storage to report a break-in. As soon as they hear the news, the ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham and Mystery Inc. head straight to the location. However, when they arrive, the entire place is empty. Martian Manhunter uses his telepathic powers to scan the area, but he cannot detect any living being. The Question suggests that someone may be trying to lure them there on purpose. Fred proposes that everyone should split up to search for clues more efficiently. Velma teams up with Detective Chimp. Together they discover a shattered glass cage. It seems that several files containing a radioactive isotope have been stolen. Meanwhile, Batman begins to hear a strange voice. When he turns to the others and asks if they can hear it too, they all shake their heads. The voice grows louder and louder, and that is when Batman realizes something is terribly wrong. A red-cloaked figure suddenly appears in front of them. It introduces itself as Crimson Cloak and declares that it will take revenge on both Batman and Gotham for turning him into a ghost. Aquaman immediately raises his trident and tries to strike, but Crimson Cloak is a spirit and can avoid any physical attack with ease. Seeing that their usual methods will not work, Mystery Inc. does what they always do in moments like this, that is running. However, Crimson Cloak quickly tracks down Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Just as the two of them are about to be caught, Batman arrives in time to save them. Crimson Cloak then makes a terrifying decision. It announces that it will blow up the entire place along with everyone inside. Plastic Man has no other choice, so he stretches his body wide and shields the others with himself before the explosion goes off. After witnessing how dangerous this situation truly is, Batman tells Mystery Inc. to find somewhere safe and stay out of danger for now. Later, Mystery Inc. stops at a cafe to regroup. Out of nowhere, Detective Harvey Bullock shows up. He works for the Gotham Police Department, and he explains that he is investigating a series of robberies at Gotham Chemical Storage. According to the security footage, the mystery machine was seen near the crime scene. Mystery Inc. is shocked to realize that someone has framed them and turned them into suspects. Just as Detective Harvey Bullock takes out a pair of handcuffs, Batman steps in. He firmly states that without a proper arrest warrant, Detective Harvey Bullock has no right to detain them. Before leaving, Detective Harvey Bullock swears that he will arrest Batman one day if he ever gets the chance. After he leaves, Batman approaches Mystery Inc. and admits that he suspects Crimson Cloak is connected to the only case he has never been able to solve. He explains that years ago, he received a report about a secret laboratory run by Professor Milo. Professor Milo was attempting to create a teleportation portal, but the machine became unstable and overloaded. Arresting Professor Milo was easy. The real problem was that his two assistants were about to be pulled into the machine. Batman tried everything he could, but in the end he managed to save only one of them, who is Wade Magnay. The other assistant, Leo Scarlet, is dragged into the portal and disappears without a trace. Leo Scarlet is the only person Batman has ever failed to save. Hearing this, Mystery Inc. reassures Batman that they will stand by him and help him solve this mystery. They ask whether Leo Scarlet has any surviving family members. Batman tells them that Leo has a father named Sam Scarlet, who is considered one of the greatest scientists in the world. Suddenly, Daphne notices something important. If you reverse the name Wade Magnay, it becomes Edward Nygma, which is the real name of Riddler. At the moment, Riddler is being held at Arkham Asylum, with no better lead to follow. Batman decides to take Mystery Inc. to Arkham Asylum to question Riddler directly. The moment they see Riddler, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy panic and run away. Batman steps forward and demands answers. He tells Riddler to reveal the identity of Crimson Cloak. Riddler smirks and replies that Batman failed to save Leo Scarlet, and now Leo has returned to take revenge. He even reminds Batman about the torn piece of sleeve that was left behind after the accident. According to Riddler, that piece of fabric is now buried in Arkham Cemetery. While trying to escape from the frightening atmosphere, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy accidentally stumble upon the canteen inside Arkham Asylum. To their surprise, the place is filled with delicious food, and they quickly forget their fear. At the same time, the others are searching everywhere for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Mystery Inc. apologizes to Batman for the trouble and explains that Scooby-Doo and Shaggy always run away whenever they see something scary. Without warning, Crimson Cloak appears again. This time it cuts off the power supply, which causes all the electrically controlled cell doors to open at once. That means Batman and Mystery Inc. now have to face every single criminal locked inside Arkham Asylum. There is no time to fight them all, so they begin to retreat. While looking for an exit, Mystery Inc. unexpectedly runs into Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Now the situation becomes chaotic. Mystery Inc. is running away from the criminals, and the criminals are running away from Batman. However, there are simply too many criminals, so Batman focuses on blocking the main exit to prevent them from escaping into Gotham. After that, Mystery Inc. and Batman head to Arkham Cemetery together. It does not take long for them to find the exact spot Riddler mentioned. At the scene, they discover a strange substance imprinted with unusual footprints. Batman immediately freezes the material so he can bring it back for further examination. Just as they are about to leave, Detective Harvey Bullock suddenly shows up. He announces that he has just received a report claiming Batman released half of the criminals from Arkham Asylum. On top of that, he says the police have found several files containing a radioactive isotope inside the mystery machine. Mystery Inc. is stunned. Batman quickly realizes that someone is trying to frame both him and the team. Without wasting time, he throws down a smoke bomb and creates a distraction so they can escape. Mystery Inc. and Batman rush into the mystery machine. Scooby-Doo jumps into the driver's seat and starts the engine. He announces that he has just received a report claiming Batman released half of the criminals from Arkham Asylum. They think the situation cannot get any worse, but letting Scooby-Doo drive turns out to be an even bigger disaster. In the chaos, they end up racing into a dangerous area known as No Man's Land, a place completely cut off from the outside world and considered a paradise for criminals. At that moment, Joker and Penguin are having a conversation when the mystery machine suddenly crashes straight into them. Batman immediately pulls Scooby-Doo away from the steering wheel and takes control. He knows that they will get into trouble once they anger criminals like Joker and Penguin. These men never forgive and never forget. Penguin quickly speeds ahead to block their path, while Joker releases other criminals to cling onto the mystery machine and stop it from escaping. Batman understands that they cannot defeat such a large group all at once, so he calls the Batmobile for backup. He provides cover so Mystery Inc. can transfer safely into the Batmobile. With swift and precise movements, he knocks the criminals off the vehicle one by one. After clearing them out, he leaps into the Batmobile and drives off with Mystery Inc. Joker and Penguin do not realize that Batman has switched vehicles, so they continue chasing the mystery machine instead. For a brief moment, Mystery Inc. and Batman believe they are finally safe. However, Martian Manhunter suddenly appears and blocks their path. Batman manages to distract him using nothing more than a box of donuts. Soon after they encounter Plastic Man, Batman drives the Batmobile directly onto a moving train to shake off pursuit, even though they fail to catch Batman. The ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham succeed in capturing the remaining criminals. Batman then brings Mystery Inc. to the Batcave. Inside, they see the many different suits he has worn over the years. Meanwhile, a press conference featuring Detective Harvey Bullock is playing on television. He announces that the police have found evidence proving Mystery Inc. stole materials from Gotham Chemical Storage. The security footage shows someone who looks exactly like Shaggy committing the crime. However, Velma immediately points out that Shaggy would never walk past a box of donuts sitting on a table without eating at least one. After hearing this, Batman decides to return to the very place where everything began, which is Professor Milo's laboratory. Before leaving, he hands Velma the frozen footprint sample from Arkham Cemetery and asks her to analyze it carefully. Batman arrives at Professor Milo's lab and begins picking the lock. Aquaman suddenly appears and tells him he wants to help. The two enter the laboratory together, only to unexpectedly run into the Question. The Question explains that every clue he has been following leads back to this location. Batman feels uneasy because this is the first time he has heard the Question speak without ending his sentence with another question. While they are discussing the situation, Crimson Cloak appears once again. It wastes no time and launches a direct attack on Batman, Aquaman, and the Question. Within moments, it manages to overpower and capture them. At the same time, Velma is examining the frozen footprint sample when it suddenly begins to move on its own. The substance slips away and transforms into a monstrous creature that attacks Mystery Inc. As usual, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy become the creature's primary targets. However, their desperate escape turns into an accidental strategy while running for their lives. They manage to lure the monster into a bat dehydrator. The moment the substance hardens, Daphne immediately identifies it as Clay. That realization leads to only one possible suspect, Clayface, and Mystery Inc. is shocked by the implication. Velma prepares to inform Batman about this discovery, but when she turns around, she sees that he has already been captured. With no other choice left, Mystery Inc. braces themselves for a rescue mission. Meanwhile, Crimson Cloak reactivates the teleportation gate, intending to destroy both Batman and Gotham City as an act of revenge. Suddenly, a boomerang appears and Mystery Inc., dressed in Batman costumes, arrives on the scene. Seeing this, Crimson Cloak immediately splits his body into various criminals of Gotham City, and as usual, this is the moment when Mystery Inc. begins to run. Just as the criminals leap forward to seize them, they manage to escape. Fred quickly uses the bat dehydrator to subdue Crimson Cloak, and after everything is settled, the police finally arrive. Mystery Inc. wastes no time exposing the truth that Crimson Cloak is in fact Clayface, whose body is made of clay and who possesses the ability to change shape at will, which is also the reason Martian Manhunter cannot identify him. Clayface explains that he has been infected with a corrosive strain of bacteria that makes his body unstable, and that he made a deal with Riddler in which he only needs to steal files with a radioactive isotope and then frame Mystery Inc., and in return Riddler promises to give him the antidote. But the plan fails and Clayface is taken to Arkham Asylum. The ranks of mystery analysts of Gotham think everything has finally come to an end when Batman calls Arkham Asylum and tells them to check on Riddler. And only then do the guards discover that the Riddler before their eyes is merely another clay decoy created by Clayface, while the real Riddler is standing right among them in disguise as the Question. Batman has noticed ever since the bank robbery that the Question no longer ends his sentences with questions, yet he still does not expect Riddler to escape once again. And Riddler quickly runs inside to reactivate the teleportation gate in order to destroy Gotham City. He laughs triumphantly, believing he has already won. Suddenly he is struck from behind by the Question, but the teleportation gate has become overloaded and can no longer be shut down. Batman prepares to destroy it, but he hears a voice coming from within the gate. And that voice belongs to Leo Scarlet, so Batman immediately swings upward on his line to rescue him, but the pull from the gate is too strong and he cannot hold his position, forcing Scooby-Doo to lend his strength so that Batman can pull Leo Scarlet out. Fortunately, they remain safe after the explosion. Leo Scarlet is quickly given a general examination, and Batman also calls Sam Scarlet. At last he no longer has to burden himself with guilt. After that, Batman thanks Mystery Inc. for all their help during this time, yet there is still one mystery left unsolved for Mystery Inc. That is the question of who truly stands behind Batman's mask.